time for the ganja bar.
We did it! We're only 8 minutes late. Look at that. Hello,
Only
everyone!
8 minutes.
And welcome back to the Star Citizen Content Creators Roundtable. Look at that. I remembered it without thinking too hard about it. I have, as always, well, the third time, but as always, an esteemed panel of guests with me to go over our topics, which I only just thought of about 5 minutes ago. It's fine. As always, or for the last two, and then the two after this one, we are doing our Road to CitizenCon, which means we're basically talking about CitizenCon and getting the opinions of everyone here, mostly because most of them will be at the event, and I don't get to go, so I want to know what their thoughts are on it. My mic stand is just all sorts of messed up right now. It's fine. So we're going to go around the table and ask everyone to introduce ourselves. So starting with what I have labeled as Cam 1. Mick, what do you do in Star Citizen, and where are you, I guess? Words.
Hey, well, I do a lot of salvaging lately. It started out just going around in bunkers and looking at all the naked corpses and stuff at the entrances and waiting for my missions to load. But now salvaging, that's been reliable. We like to stream it on YouTube, have good times, keep a nice friendly environment.
And where can they find you?
Oh, Knights of the Dice Table on YouTube.
Nice. Buster the Destroyer, where are you and what do you do and stuff? Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am that Buster the Destroyer. Also, I was about to make a joke, and I was like, no, it better not. Welcome to my bedroom, everybody. This is a rare sight for Twitch and YouTube and wherever. And anyway, yeah. So I stream on Twitch. I play a lot. I generally play Star Citizen in the past. Lately, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, I have some romances that I need to explore. Okay, and and I have some things I need to kill. But anyway, yeah, no, I just been hanging around playing stuff. I'm going to CitizenCon in October, or this is October. We're in October already. Shit.
I mean, it's the first. I mean, it's literally just started.
Yeah. Like, wait, October's here. But yeah, I'm going to CitizenCon.
21 days away, CitizenCon.
But I've been playing Star Citizen since 2016, for those that don't know me. So I'm a veteran of the stars. That's me.
And last but certainly not least, Red J. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me on, sir. My name is Red J. My channel on YouTube is youtube.com/c/redj. I handle lore. I like covering news type topics that are more like community based in game. Just last night, we explored the work in place, I guess you could say, Pyro Jump Gate and the new mega station that's out there. So if you don't mind spoilers, check out my newest video on that. I also cover like more not so hot topics, but more stuff I really enjoy. Like I did Capital Tier List. I have my first part out about that, and the second part will be out after CitizenCon because I strongly suspect there's gonna be a lot of topics about capitals. But anyway, the biggest things I think for this game, I'm an OG backer, but only because I bought a $5 paint back when it first was in Kickstarter mode, and they've always had my back. And slowly but surely, I've always made sure I have their back. And it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my gameplay career game thing to be a part of Star Citizen's community, and it's always rewarded me for being a part of it, and that's why I'm always here, and I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna stop talking because I'm getting pretty long-winded. Thank you for having me.
Fine, it's great. Good to have everyone here. All right, so as I said, this is the Road to CitizenCon, so that's what we're gonna start off with, and we'll get to the more current events in a minute. So CitizenCon, 21 days away. First year it's going to be 2 days. First year in 4 years it's being back in person. I know, Buster, you said you're going. Jay and Mick, are you guys planning on going to CitizenCon?
No, not this year. This would be the first year I even knew it existed, honestly, since I started. They didn't have any live ones since I started playing.
So that brings me actually to a point I forgot to mention in the intro. I do try and keep at least one seat on the table every week, a less than 1 year old player. So Mick gets to mix this way. Mick gets to stand in as our newbie for this one. That way we get the all important noob perspective, and a lot of people, especially beginning of 2023, were very arguing for the new player, but not as a new player. So these were like 6 to 10-year-old backers arguing about something for new players. So that's why I want to make sure that we get the new players on here. We actually ask them the questions directly. That way we don't speculate what they're thinking without them in the room. So, thank you, Mick.
That's a good point. I didn't know you did that. That's a really good move. For the record, I'm not heading to CitizenCon this year. I can't make it. I may be going to a watch party with the New Jersey Bar Citizen, depending on my scheduling and with work and such. But I'll probably be at that instead, watching it live, so to speak, with that community.
Yeah, watching it live. I can't imagine. Like, they're going to say something near the end. For those who don't know, I'm planning a 48-hour stream for CitizenCon. The second I get the stupid schedule, CIG, I will post the schedule of when I start. But I will be there for the whole 48 hours. There will be a sleeping break. There's going to be 3 of us on stream, me, Ender, and... Now, hold on.
There's gonna be 2 people.
There's gonna be another one. But I swear it was Jay. What did I do? Where did I put it? Labeled the 48-hour stream. I'm looking through my DMs. There it is. 48-hour stream. It is you! Hold on. I forgot. You said you're going to be there. Red
Okay.
J.
I'm not going to be a CitizenCon, but I'll gladly join virtually anything you need.
Well, okay, so me and Red J and Ender, who was on last week, are going to be doing the 48-hour stream. The stream will be running for 48 hours, but not all hosts will be present for 48 hours. There will always be at least one of the hosts there. That is the plan. Because there will be sleeps, there will be stretches, we'll be doing this healthily. That's a word. All right.
But not at CitizenCon, right?
Not at CitizenCon. We will all be behind our computers crying that we're not actually there doing the stuff.
Sorry, I'll have all the fun for you.
That's great. We
Sorry.
actually, so I am trying to get people there on the ground to be able to like call in.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to do that, we can. I think Tomato said he'd be
Yeah.
down with it, and then also Tree will be down with it. So we might get a couple callers to kind of phone in and like tell us how the convention is on the
I'll
ground.
just get in the background of Tomatoes, and I'll just be like dancing and eating snacks, and be like, "This is a birthday." I'll just be like the weirdo somewhere in the background.
If
But
only...
I'd certainly if I'm able to, yeah.
Cool, amazing. I wonder if CIG can make it happen to import the stupid retribution from Asia. Because, like, everyone wants to see that. Absolutely everyone wants to see the like, what's it, like a 16-foot retribution?
Yeah. Pretty
Insane.
badass.
So, yeah. So, actually, questions this time. Red J, what are you anticipating for CitizenCon?
My long shot, moonshot, I guess you could say, is possibly more information about the Liberator as a ship. But I have been constantly questioned about that, and the only reason I suggested it at all is because we need it for Pyro, and that's seen as like a tool towards Pyro. However, seeing the infrastructure that has been brought in 3.21 PTU, like the Pyro jump gate placeholder stuff, some of the possibly Pyro assets, and the station, I'm strongly convinced that will be more of what they show, possibly even a demonstration of a jump gate, and more of the mechanics of it. And then, of course, the replication layer discussions, getting people excited about having that idea of the beginnings of server meshing. So I think mechanics. But ship-wise, we've already heard rumors of the Zeus, having like a new version of it, which is a smaller ship, of course, and that's legacy old school stuff from the lore, which is awesome. I welcome that. And the Spirits A1 and C1. And then once again, my long shot is the Lib, and I know that's a long shot, and that's narrow possibility, but we need it as the ferry to Pyro.
Ferry Pyro. Oh, we lost Buster altogether.
Oh no.
He's so excited about all these ships.
Sorry, I accidentally closed a browser and thinking it was.
We don't need this. Get out of here.
I'm back. I accidentally I thought I was getting rid of a browser that didn't have anything in it. I'm like, oh,
Nothing important, I'm
that's
sure.
the one. That's the one that had that in it. That's not smart, Buster. Sorry.
No worries. All right, thank you, Red J. So, Buster, what are your anticipation words? What are you anticipating for CitizenCon?
You know, this is my first CitizenCon I'll ever attend in person.
You were
And
at one once.
no, everybody thinks I went to the one in Austin in 2018. Like everybody, it's so funny. Literally, so many people think I went to 2018 CitizenCon because it was in Texas, and I'm like, no, that's like right when I got to know all of y'all, and I started to get a ticket, but it was like it was literally like a day after they closed down ticket sales.
Oh,
so I was
dang.
like, okay. It was like 2 or 3 weeks out or something. You know, they closed down ticket sales. And so I was like, well, I can't even get it passed. And if I'd known people like I do now, I probably could have been like, hey, can help me, please? But yeah, no,
Absolutely.
I would have just submitted a support ticket.
Wow.
Really all I would have done. Please support me in helping me buy this thing.
That's
no.
tragic.
No, I didn't go, and it was just when I started streaming Star Citizen too. It was like literally within a month, and I had been playing it for a couple years before that, so I was familiar with the game, but the community was like, and the way it interacted was totally new to me and very like, whoa, I really like these people, you know? Now, not so much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love all of y'all. I'm playing. No, but so this is my first one that I'm going to. I've seen it, you know, I've watched so many of them. I remember watching it before I even became part of the community. I watched like the one for 3.0, whatever year that was, like 2016, 2017.
The
Yada yada.
year
But
of Squadron 42, right?
something, yeah, I think so. I came with the year of the squadron. But yeah, no, okay, so I've never been to one. I've watched them a million times. I've talked to many friends who've been to them. I have expectations. But at the same time, I'm one of those people. I'm trying not to have expectations. I'm just trying to let what happens happen and enjoy myself no matter what, which I will. Like, I absolutely will, because the most important thing is to see friends. I am more hyped about seeing some of my very, very longest lived internet friends at this point in my life, because I've had several unfortunately pass away from my younger days. But you know what I mean, like people I've known for years, and I've never even shook their hand or even hugged them or whatever. That for me is what I'm looking for going to CitizenCon. Our hugs, and maybe an occasional little kiss on the cheek, you know, and I guess as far as what I'm expecting from CIG, I'm just expecting. I'm excited that it's a 2-day thing, because they talked about the reason they did that is some people feel like with the panels going back to back nonstop all day, they can't really get out to enjoy the rest of it before it's over. So I like that aspect of it, because then I can pick and choose where I want to go sit down in a theater and watch, versus where I want to walk around, and how, like, obviously I'm going to walk everything, like community booths, everything, but I'm just more excited about seeing people in the community, and I'm gonna obviously get into the keynote. It's like I'm gonna get my, like, probably beeline for my seat in the keynote when I first get there. Which I'm
I
sure many others
imagine
do.
whatever you start screaming, we'll be able to hear on stream, because you're gonna be screaming
I will
something.
behave myself. I promise I will behave myself. But I swear, if the right thing is said and I think of the wrong thing, it will come out of my mouth. Um, you'll hear me somewhere in the stream, I'm sure. No, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see people. I'm excited to see people that have been coming and watching me on Twitch for years. I'm excited to see people I've been shooting down in Star Citizen for years. I'm very excited to see people that have killed me so many times I can't count it anymore. Star Citizen for years. Like, you know, even the ones that, like, that generally, like, I could see people wanting to punch them in the community. There's some people in the community that we all have to admit, there's like one or two, they're not even one or two. There's like a good couple handfuls of people that there a lot of people know the names of, and they're like, I don't like that guy. He always kills me at Porto or something.
Oh, yeah, I gotta find Citizen Scott.
And so I know there's going to be people that, and I've even talked to some people, and I've, and I've asked them, aren't you going to CitizenCon? They said, no, I get punched.
Oh. Oh
Like,
man.
it's just silly. But either way, I don't care. I just want to see everybody, and I just want to give them hugs and like I said, little pecks on the cheek. Maybe some goodies for a few people.
Just apparently not
Make 'em take-
stickers.
Hey, I'm not taking stickers because
Apparently it's
I don't
banned
wanna
in the
make
convention center.
stickers are. Oh, that makes sense to prevent vandalism.
So like I forget who was saying like, hey, look, I just got a whole bunch of these to give out at CitizenCon. So I was like,
Oh,
do
I'm
that.
so glad.
And
My
then somebody else
boss,
replies like, no, that's my
literally-
entire idea. Like, apparently, yeah, big thing. Cannot bring
Okay,
stickers to the
so
convention
new
center.
idea. I mean, not that I was thinking about taking some stickers, but one of the things I generally do, or I've been trying to do at Bar Citizen things that I occasionally do, is like I bring like yellow rose pens for a few people that I want to give one to, and yellow rose is a flower of friendship, so it's usually they're usually
cool.
reserved for people I have very very, at some point in my Star Citizen life have maybe saved me from doing something stupid or whatever, just friends, just buddies that love me and show it with their words even if they're harsh. So
So cool. I mean, I guess you are kind of like
yeah, I'm kind of
you're kind of jaded by the whole first time, so you have like, I just want to be there. I have whatever they do is gonna be great. Just wait till next year, and you like if you get to go next year, like okay, I soaked it all in. Now I have wands.
Yeah, I definitely have some things I'd like to see. Like I'd really like to see just something about Squadron. I'd like to see something drop about Squadron. I'd like to see, I don't know, something that's not kind of more of the same talks and discussions and
I mean, the composer's
minuscule
gonna be
progress,
there
of
for
course.
Squadron.
Well, well, but Pedro's like a fan, man.
No, not Pedro. Pedro's Star Citizen. There's a different composer who very specifically and like marketing got in touch with him for this.
But with Star Citizen, you can't expect it to be a big deal. You have to kind of. What did they announce stuff yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
We got nothing.
They're killing me.
I
need
know.
it.
I have a stream to plan, and they haven't like when's the start date?
They're killing me. They're killing me. Anyway, I'll shut up. Like, go on somebody else. I just want to see my friends, and I'm excited. Okay. I just want to get their stupid faces.
I unplugged my monitor. I'm gonna plug that back in.
And ask them if that's a coda in their pocket or if they're happy to see me. I swear, that's the only one I'll say on the stream.
Mick, what are your expectations for CitizenCon?
So I haven't been to a CitizenCon, but I have went to Eve, what do they call it? Like Eve Fan Fest in Vegas, Eve Vegas. And like they did like more than just stuff related to Eve there. Is it similar with CitizenCon?
No.
Like
only
we talked about Artemis at Eve Fan Fest or whatever.
The only time I've seen not CitizenCon at a not CitizenCon at a Star Citizen event was actually the Shanghai Bar Citizen, which is a fan setup thing. They had a whole bunch of just sci-fi nerd game stuff there. But Star Citizens are very focused on Star Citizen and the community.
Yeah, they're very specific to this is what we're doing. It would be nice if they brought in some of their celebrities from Squadron 42.
Yeah. This is the year after. Well, the first year they've had since they did the Eve Lego build thing, and also the Starfield thing that just happened. So, like, if they were going to do it, it'd be a perfect year for them to start branching out and inviting other space games to come join them.
If they had other like sponsors or something like that, kind of what I think you're getting to, like something that it would probably be like hardware brands, to be honest.
Well, AMD's been yeah, AMD was there, Intel was there for their Optane launch. That's why we have the stupid Raven. And they've done Toby.
What I want to see is munching.
munching.
That's what I want to see. I'm so into salvaging now. Like I
Hmm.
bought a vulture. I bought a reclaimer in game and thought this thing's broken. I can't use this. The elevator didn't work. So I bought a vulture. And then I bought the wife a vulture. We were like, this is awesome. And then we checked out the reclaimer again. We were like, oh, $400? That's not bad. Let's get a reclaimer. You know, and we're loving it. But like now we're at the point, too bad I can't bust this claw out and start munching ships up. Like, so I'm hoping that's something at CitizenCon. They're like, yeah, this was actually ready. We were waiting to show it to you guys. Like, that's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, we did just see not too long ago the designers talk about what the plan was for munching and the next like really big step for salvage. So it's like it's not it's not impossible for them to show the next step for sure.
That's what I want to see. I got my monitor plugged in. I couldn't see you guys for a while. I could just
But-
hear you. I accidentally hit the cord with my phone.
That's fine. It'll be an audio format on Spotify later anyway.
Good.
So I actually have not dangerously, but pretty high expectations. I do like that it is one stage, but it will be gapped on the stage. So on my end, it will be there'll be a panel and then time to discuss the panel with the people who end up on stream.
I'm sure they considered that too when they were like reconstructing it for the practicality of enjoying the convention in person. I
Yeah.
wonder if they thought, well, if we give the streamers a break, they can actually talk about what we just said.
Yeah, and that was like one of the biggest problems of I think last year's and the year before CitizenCon is they were just like giant ISCs and like you just have to like survive the onslaught and then have to go back and figure out what exactly you just watched happen.
Yeah, because you can't pause it because then you're gonna get behind and everybody will come get off of your channel and go watch it somewhere where they're keeping up with it.
The whole Chris Tyler talk, the 2 hours of people falling asleep, like that was some pretty big nuggets of information there. Like,
Oh my god, yeah.
and that was like kind of the beginning of talking about Squadron being near completion.
And last year, like the Chris Roberts, like just going on and on and on.
Yes,
at
the Chris
end,
Tyler
like,
talk.
Yeah, like that's just that one got to me at the end of like I missed the whole thing. I actually helped a friend. This is what happened to me CitizenCon last year. This is a funny story. I about maybe month before my what is it? Not the thing that moves the belt on the car engine. Not the battery, but it's part of that. It's part of the
not
power
cars.
system.
I don't know.
Alternator. Thank you. Alternator. I just couldn't think of the word alternator. So the alternator of my car needed to be replaced a month before. And then like a month later on the day of CitizenCon, I'm like getting up to work. I'm getting ready to do CitizenCon all motherfucking day. And then my work bestie calls me. He's like, hey, so I think my alternator's dead and I need help. And I was super good at replacing alternators. So I went and helped him do that for, with each car is a little different and you don't have everything you need. You kind of got to make some things work and go get the thing, all that. So I literally miss all of CitizenCon. I come back, I get back to the office. I'm covered in like grease marks up above my elbows because I washed like my face and my arms and stuff, but like I mean I just had grease all over my clothes and me and even some still on my face, and I'm sitting there watching CitizenCon like 7 hours after, like literally as CitizenCon ended was when I started CitizenCon.
Oh my. Well,
So I'm hoping nobody's car breaks down during CitizenCon this year. I don't
you're just be like, I'm in California. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, y'all are screwed.
That's adorable. You should have like taken the grease and just wiped it under your eyes, like
Oh my
tough
God.
looks.
There's a
you know?
picture.
You
I'll
owned
send
it.
the picture to you. I'll post it in Discord. I'll find the picture.
All right. Well, that's a lot of our expectations. I do think that Squadron has to be talked about. I think they're really getting ready to start the whole year leading up to Squadron. I think it's going to be coming out within 6 months of next year's CitizenCon. Whether that be before or after, that's up to development teams to know. Yeah.
I got, if it's okay, I got a Squadron question. That's the one they took off the store, right?
Yep.
And okay.
So for those, I guess it's a good question. For those who don't know what Squadron 42 is and why a lot of the older backers, fine, whatever.
Yeah, like how you paused, how you're saying that. But some of us are much older people now.
lot of the older backers here, Squadron was a much bigger deal to them. Now that Star Citizen has been in development for almost 12 years, and Squadron has not really said much, and the longer it goes in, the quieter it gets. It is a much bigger deal to Chris Roberts, possibly, than Star Citizen is. To Chris Roberts himself, not to the company, not to anything else, but it is the continuation of the theme of Wing Commander. So this space opera, space combat, this kind of like you're a Navy pilot with the UE Marines, and you're going through this giant epic narrative, and it's single player. So it's kind of like the antithesis of Star Citizen. And that's been in development for just as the same time as Star Citizen has. And they've been saying in the monthly reports and all the things that their beta, post alpha work. Paul loves the post alpha tagline. That was great. And so we're really wanting them to release. And what that actually gets Star Citizen is all that work as they polish out Squadron 42 is all that polish work is polished on the same game, the same engine, the same content. So that all that polish can actually benefit directly Star Citizen. Plus, there's the systems that are in Squadron. There's the ships that are in Squadron, the work on AI. Plus, the teams that are working on it get to move over and make Star Citizen stuff. So it's not just a benefit to people who like single-player games, but also people that like Star Citizen. And the year after Squadron releases, Star Citizen will move forward way faster because there'll be closer to 100% of the company working on Star Citizen as they spool up for Squadron 42 Episode 2 out of 3 episodes. So that's what Squadron is.
That's why people are always saying things are in Squadron. Why aren't they in the PU? That's because they're developing them there.
Yep. So instead of what we did with the carts, we're like, hey, we made a cart. What do we do with it? Nah, it's in the game now. They're taking like the map system and like we want to build the entire map system, fully featured, polished up, runs great, and then we'll give it to Star Citizen. Because
not to be confused with Squadron 42, which is the workout class I lead weekly in the PU. We teach you to squat 42 times in 42 seconds because if you're going to sit in a pilot seat and you think Mark Hamill wants you on Squadron 42, you better have the ass ready for it.
Is that at the workout area in Babbage?
Yeah. I'll say stuff like, cause like there was the longest time while the little NPCs like they would just stand there. Remember that? Well, you may not, but like I don't know how long you've been playing, but like they would just stand there, right? And they don't move, and I just yell at them for not moving, and other players would come up and start doing the squats, and I'd be like, look at her! She's got a backpack full of 100 pounds of blah 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 in the back of it. She's kicking ass!
Speaking of this latest version, there's actually a lot more, there's treadmill, weightlifting, behaviors for NPCs, so more use to the Babbage, rec area coming soon.
New Babbage is slowly becoming Ventura Beach or whatever that famous beach is where all the dudes weightlift. The one that I want to go to.
Chip is booming.
It's the place I go to in my dreams sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
So that's kind of our expectations. So we're gonna go back around the other way with Mick. What concerns do you have for CitizenCon?
Concerns? I mean, with the 3.21 getting PTU and everything, I feel like that was big hype because I'm right in thinking nobody said anything. It was just there, right?
Yep.
And like that was big hype, and then it wasn't 20 minutes later. People are saying there's a jump point there, and then there's videos of jump point, and I'm like, what is going on? And somebody said, well, they're getting ready for CitizenCon. So if we get there and they don't say, hey, we showed you where the jump point's going to be in Stanton and everything, and we showed you that we can put a station there, if it's just going to turn around and not be anything, I think that would be pretty disappointing.
I do want them to actually let us know, like, so we know that they're getting ready to split the replication layer off the game server. So
I don't know much about what replication layer is. Like,
So basically, when you open the inventory, you are interfacing directly with what's called the replication layer. It's the data set that holds the inventory, but it just doesn't inventory your items. It's the state of every NPC part of your ship item, everything that moves or exists in Star Citizen is saved to the replication layer. Currently, that replication layer is glued to the game. So when the server dies, the replication layer dies. That's why when stuff exists and the server crashes, it no longer exists. That's why you have to store your ships and make sure it goes to the back end before you're able to get it back. With the split of the replication layer and the game servers, the server can die and start again in the replication layer, just retell the server where everything is, and you're back right where you were.
I see. Okay, so no more getting kicked out.
And it will be the first time they are honestly going to be able to say Star Citizen runs on a meshed server, because it will be two different servers talking to each other.
I like that.
And so 321 is all the code they need in the game to do it, to do this split between the two servers. So they said in the postmortem that they want to roll out server meshing, all the stuff they need for server meshing in a much longer pieces. So they don't want to just say, oh, here's, static server meshing in 4.0 at the end of the year. Good luck. And we have another 3.18 situation.
Well, that's why they showed us the jump point. It was a really messed up birthday cake, and they just made it look pretty by putting icing over it for now.
See, I have no idea why they put in so much content, like geometry stuff. Because, there's... Because it's not even like the... it's not even the... Thanks, Kat. That definitely needs to be on the floor. It's not even like the final version of the gas clouds. They're like a very, low LOD, I guess. And, it clips through the station. The opacity's not there. It is only there. It only looks good at, like, a medium distance, because if you go too far away, it just looks like an opaque spiral, and if you're inside of it, it's like clipping through the station, and then the stations there are just normal stations with like nice signing. So it's a very, very interesting addition, and I have no one has said why they're in the game, and on top of that, till this release, and you're right that they didn't say 321 was going to be out next. They had said there are 2 point patches to go, and then 21 at the end of the year was the last thing we heard, because we were still waiting. Because even Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays ago, they said the SRV and SRV and Spirit, possibly
Spirit A1, C1.
I there were two things in the last roadmap, and they said these are being targeted for a 320.x. So that's 2 weeks ago. They said is targeted for an X.
As well.
Everybody's mad about Santok. Somebody explain to me why people are mad about Santok AI, because
People are mad about it?
I don't know. Somebody said that it was Segalian told me I was like one of the only people he's heard that's like happy about Santok AI coming out. And I'm like, what? But whatever.
I mean, it's a nothing burger, but I'm happy for it.
Okay, I mean then that's what it is. That's what people are upset about it. It's a nothing burger.
It's not a capital Xi'an ship. I'm shocked.
I'll fly alien ships when I can be the alien. All right.
Oh.
Fair. But it's got
Well,
the very interesting dashboard.
I like the Santok AI. I don't want to be MMM, so deal with it, capital shippers.
That's because all BMM ships were destroyed by Kraken owners.
Krakens.
Because Krakens are better, and BMMs.
Might
The
have a
BMM will never
fall.
be done. We'll get the Endeavor
Krakens
before the
makes me
BMM.
think of pork cracklings, and that sounds great too. Right now.
Buster, what are your concerns for CitizenCon?
My concerns. Oh, I'll tell you what my concerns are. My concerns are people not getting along. People having fights.
That would be great. The first CitizenCon you're there, and there's a backer fight breaks out.
Oh, I would be like I'd be twisting the ears and sending them to their mothers. But yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, concern. I don't know. I mean, my concerns are more of a personal nature. Like, I hope I like the room we got. Because, like, I'm saying, there's another girl in the community. We decided to get like just a room with a double bed. So we're like, yeah, that's easier, and we're like, it's cheaper and it's a nice place. But yeah, it's just like it's more of that kind of stuff. Like my concerns have nothing to do with the convention. They're about, okay, I have to walk like 20 minutes through downtown LA to get somewhere. So this is unfamiliar territory. I'm not scared. I'm not concerned. I'm just not to let my guards down, okay? So my concerns are nothing of that sort. I mean, it's
So is it that
maybe my concern about CitizenCon, like let me try to really think about it. Maybe my concern as far as game and things like that go is that honestly, there's been flare-ups of stupid COVID, and I would be concerned about that creating an issue at the convention. I would be concerned about, which the CIG can't help. It's they don't control viruses. I hope.
what do you mean they've been fighting bugs for 12 years?
Yeah, yeah, sure. That's a good. Yeah. I walked right into that one, didn't I? But I mean, I guess like overall, like just concerns about content and convention, what they present, and things like that. Things that most people are going to be thinking about. I guess my biggest concern is that it just stays like it just feels like a big nothing burger is a good term for it, like we said earlier. I don't know. I just feel I get concerned that they do something that upsets the community, or they miscalculate the community's like feelings on something. I don't know. Again, I'm just happy to go see my friends. I'm not concerned except for my own safety and well-being in a new city. So, but I'm not really that scared. So, but you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I don't know. It's a hard question for me because
Just look,
I
you're
can't be
generally
concerned for
excited and you're
CIG. I
generally
can't be
concerned. Like
concerned.
they're both like very
I
equal.
can't be concerned for decisions that CIG makes because it's their decisions to make. It's the way they choose to do things. I have full confidence in them. I think this is the year. I'm feeling it. I feel like so good. It's like Chuck Mangione feeling good, kind of good. I guess nobody knows that song. But
I
yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I
okay.
don't
That's
know.
fine.
It's hard. So that's really my answer. What concerns?
You're just hoping
Aside
not to
from
get shivved
personal
in the middle of LA.
concerns.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, that's if only the world allowed me to have concerns about Star Citizen anymore.
Good point. Red J, do you
Yeah.
have any concerns about CitizenCon?
I just hope there's enough time to focus down the ships. I think of the success stories, like when they rolled out the Pioneer concept, but then it took obviously time, and it's still taking time to get Outpost and such a complex ship out the door. But I really valued that they took time and really dug into it. The Kraken rollout is another one that comes to mind, but it can be smaller than that. I hope there's enough time to devote to ships and ship gameplay and like where it's going to go, especially caps and quasi caps. I see that as a category that they really need to reinforce confidence in and like make clear now that we're going to go to Pyro, jump drive equipped ships are going to be that much more critical. Especially my beloved Liberator. It will not get off that pedestal. And most importantly, I want them to confirm how PDSs will work and how strong they will be, because personal defense. So these defensive systems, that the PDS turrets that will automatically defend the ship from incoming torpedoes will be critical. So John Cruz said the Liberator got 2 PDS turrets back on the concept because they wanted it to be able to not get sucker punched by, I'm paraphrasing here, that's not the word he used, but to basically get nailed by a tally, and then it just continues on its merry way and kills everybody in like a nanosecond and runs away. So those PDSs need to be an actual deterrent from like just a random person chucking some size 9s and leaving and laughing about it, but not too strong where basically torp ships are no longer valuable unless it's like a Polaris or something in the future. So I want to hear that balance between torps versus PDSs. And this, I believe, is the CitizenCon to at least explain how PDSs work, how strong they are, how far out the range will operate, or how much ammo they have. Like, can they get like countered by chucking small size 5s at something? And then
What's the PDS stand for again?
you got me. I'm literally, it's a defense system, but it's
So
not
it's
personal
like
defense system.
it's like it's a
Point
type
defense
of
system?
weapon.
Point defense. That sounds right.
So it's a type of weapon.
So they're meant to be automated, and
Uh-huh.
you don't have to have a person attached to it. But they're not as strong
Okay.
as a manned or a remote turret,
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
and
It's like
they have limited
okay.
ammunition. So the idea is like this is more of a defensive. Oh God, the torpedo's coming right at us weapon, and some possibly other things. But
Like
it's
it's like a
supposed to be
safety
short
thing.
range, last ditch effort. Yeah, defense.
Like an auto safety thing. Okay, that's kind of cool.
So I see
like that.
I see that as like, and ships like once again the Liberator and also I would argue the Genesis Starliner are going to definitely need these, and they're going to be like very common in the verse because they're just critical for org operations and for how we do things and how we get people around, both players and NPCs around the verse. We can't have Genesis Starliners just somebody sitting there with a tally popping like 6 commercial Genesis Starliners trying to leave port or something.
Oh yes, we can. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's just that's the thing is I would like
I
to see
know,
them
I know what you
reinforce PDSs, and if it's another year where they kick the can on that, I'd be a little nervous, especially getting closer and closer to Pyro. So that's the biggest thing. Another thing I would love to see, and I'm nervous about them skipping over, is the lore. Lore is not that exciting. It's not that sexy, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, to me, the lore is pretty dang deep in Pyro, and I would be disappointed if they don't really dive deep into like the Prophet of Pyro, the stories out of Pyro 2. The doing a little bit more about the gangs of Pyro and like maybe the origins of the Overlord organization a little bit more. I love the mystery behind that, and also digging deep into Ruin Station. And all the failed corporations that went to Pyro. This is like that moment in time where people are going to be jacked about it because you're talking about Pyro, and this could be a year for big gains in lore and getting people passionate about that depth of the game.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't miss it.
Yeah, I can imagine that with I forget who said it, but I think it was Chris said it in one of the letters, or I think it was in one of the letters that CitizenCon was going to focus on a big part of CitizenCon was still going to be 4.0 like it was last year. They have a good opportunity that they showed a lot of going into Pyro. They showed the 2019 demo where it was Microtech to Pyro, and then they showed some of the gameplay of Pyro with the 3 ways to play demos at
Yeah.
2018-19. It would be a great like outs or inside out view. Like you've been a citizen of Pyro. You've been in the gangs. You are a higher up, or you have like decent reputation with the gangs, and play it from that perspective. Like you are able to run freely in like gang territory, and you go get missions from the members who like run the gangs, and play it from an insider instead of coming into it, and show us like the reverse of what we've been seeing Pyro at.
Yeah.
And then like explaining like this is why this is important. I can totally see them doing that for sure. All right. Well, with that, we have touched on it a little bit. 321. And I did explain why it's a weird example of it coming out. So 321 came out 2 days ago. 2 days. I don't know how much time people here have been able to play in Star Citizen in the past couple weeks because shocking, we were all busy. But we were all expecting 320.1 to come in, to be put on the PTU pretty soon, and there goes Buster again. Camera's gone. So I guess we'll start again with Jay. What do you do you have any opinions about 321 showing up out of the blue?
I'm extremely excited about it. I'm a huge PTU nut. As many times as possible. Now, if there's like if there's like RL focuses or something where I can't devote the time, I have missed PTU cycles or I've done partials. But usually, if I'm a status quo or relatively stable in RL, I can really go deep into the PTUs, and I love them more most of the time than live. Dare I say it? I love new content, unpolished. I love testing stuff. I love finding issues and hanging out with the super on bleeding edge of the community, for better or worse. I really enjoy it. So. Like I said last night, we went on an expedition. There was over 60 plus community members that helped make it possible, where we found the working in progress Pyro Stanton jump gate and also a mega station. And I'm not going to go in depth because I don't want to spoil anyone's experiences. I know some of your viewers might not be interested in me going into working in progress topics, but that's right in the PTU right now. If you are one of those explorers,
And
we have the coordinates.
and as far as I know, the Pyro one's the only one that we can actually get to right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because the other two are outside the bounds of Microtech. So
That's
we
my
have
understanding as
we
well.
have we have no
we
cross
scouted for them.
paths. Yeah. The Pyro one, fancifully enough, is right next to ArtCorp. Super easy to get to. I did get a little bit of time to try and find it. I didn't actually make it there before I had to go and do other stuff. I will be getting there probably next time I stream on Wednesday. Wednesday we'll probably go over there and check that out. But yeah, I've been seeing videos of it all day. It's exactly what we saw in 2019, the Microtech demo. It's exactly what we saw then. Like, so big, like, sticking it to the people who say everything from CitizenCons are fake. It's the exact same game asset. They literally built it and then put it in the game. So, what about the switching of the terminology there, Jay? What of the not really telling us that 320.1 was going to be 321?
It just occurred to me I'm not on camera, so I'm like I'm like shrugging at the same time as like my head going side to side. I'm like, yeah. So basically, let me convey it in voice. Like, I'm okay. I'm not. It's not the end of the world. It's not the first time we've seen CIG do this. I'm okay with changing terminology and moving. Yes, I know the dirty word is moving the goalpost. I'm okay with that, as long as there's still content rolling out. And I would prefer that CIG is overly communicative with the community than under and trying to like keep their cards close to their chest, and then everybody's panicking up to like the minute CitizenCon's out. And it's like I'm loving this. Hey, if you want to go explore and you want to be part of the PTU, guess what? Every single wave's in there. Go explore to your heart's content. If you want the big reveal, you can do that too. I mean, we're starting to see the evolution of exploration gameplay literally around developers' patch cycles. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's you said moving the goalpost, but it's almost the reverse of that. I mean, they moved it, but they moved it closer because we were expecting a ship and bigger tractor beams. What we got were jump points.
Heck yes.
So sure, they moved the goalpost, but like they moved it behind us. And like they say at the top of the patch notes, like, hey, not all the features are in yet, but have fun. And then we're like, there's 33 gigs in here. What did you add? and so people
like nothing.
And then Pipeline has been putting up their data mined stuff at least all day yesterday. I don't know if there's anything that's been added to that. Let's check that real quick. Oh yeah, there's actually a good amount of stuff there that's been data mined, and lots of shots of the jump point and signage around there. The signs were a pretty cool addition that I didn't see coming. But we were expecting a ship. And we got so much stuff. We got lines from the clinic. We got a lot of behaviors. And that's one thing, like, I want to know, like, what are these behaviors doing? Because we got, let's see, at bed, fall back.
To the doggo ones.
These are basic civilian ones. Bed leisure, visit bar, clothing shop. So, clothing shop, I think that is actually them actually now putting in the shop patrons. Finally. Hopefully. Let's see. We also have the chow line behaviors, shop behaviors, vending machine behaviors, disposal of tray. So a bunch of just not idle, but whatever the not idle is.
So now we got more people to stand in front of us at those screens. So I
Yep.
gotta wait.
NPC is gonna be taking their stuff. There was a ship that was leaked. We're not gonna talk about that. Just because I don't like behaviors are. I don't think, at least I don't view them as like spoiler territory. But also, like you had mentioned, yeah, there was a dog mentioned in the files. So, Buster, what do you think about 321 not being 320.1?
Yes.
I know you had said that, like, you're not really into Star Citizen right now. You're working on Baldur's Gate, and
Star Citizen the last few months, like almost last like 2 years. It's
Mhm.
been real like, I've played what 12 to 20 hours a week, which is just a very small amount compared to some people, I'm sure. But I used to play generally about 20 hours a week of Star Citizen, and then I stopped because I had a lot of life going on, and I had to even take breaks from stream, and so it's been very hard to get back to that level of caring outside of when I get to see Jared's face. So, and even then, half the time I watch those videos, I can't pay attention because I'm just looking at him, and which is my unfortunate folly. But like
that's weird. You
I,
can be in like the same building as him soon.
it's happened before.
Oh,
I met him. I actually met him at a the last South by Southwest, or not South by
Neat.
Southwest. What's PAX? The last PAX, that literally the last
South
ever PAX. The PAX South, yeah, PAX South
by Southwest.
of 2020. That's the last one
Was
they
it?
ever had.
Isn't South by
They
Southwest and
canceled them.
PAX the same
Same,
people?
no, maybe, but South by Southwest is the film thing in Austin. Sorry, but anyway, I misspoke. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't understand all of it exactly. I'm just kind of listening to these gentlemen going, okay, yeah. Cause I mean, I just get in the game and I push gurneys into an elevator. Which, if they fix the gurneys, I'd be really happy about it.
Fair
So
enough.
there's my gripe. It's no patch unless it doesn't exist as a patch until they fix it to where I can push the gurneys again. I think they punished me because I used to stuff them in the elevators and make it impossible for people to get out of the hospital.
Yeah, that's back in full force in 320.0 with people using the cargo carts to block off.
I can't use any cargo stuff in any of the in the last 2 patches. I have not been able to grab a gurney or a cart.
Oh no.
I really think I'm the one being punished. I'm not even kidding.
You gotta get the cart intelligence agency in on this.
Oh
Have
my
them help
God.
you
I need to call a cart lawyer and have him talk to CIG.
That's what we need in the truck stops and near the jump points. Cart lawyers and big bennies. Yeah, that'll be the two
I just
billboards
like
we
to
get.
make because I'm so bad at playing, I like to make everybody else's life in the game as inconvenient as my bad gameplay is. So
Good to finally know who's out there doing all that.
you've
So-
seen some of my work, have you?
Carts and elevators jammed up. I couldn't get to my ship.
That's a signature. Like that's something I do often. One of the others is I gained great fame. It was kind of one of my moments as a content creator when I and a bunch of friends put over 500 hot dogs in a 135C's cargo hold, that little tiny cargo hold it has.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people were like, at that point, people are like, CIG had retweeted like images of it, and people were like in the servers going, "You're the one. That's why the server sucks."
Yeah, I got that the other day with trying to put 15 Furies in a C2.
Look.
And then we 30K'd.
The way I play is not relevant until or the patch is fine until the ways I play the game don't work for me anymore. So I'm
So-
like, yeah, I don't get it, but yeah, 321. I hope it's a good patch.
So is there
I don't know.
anything in 321 that interests you at all? Are you still waiting on more 4.0 or some further patch?
I haven't read that this week, so give me some ideas of what's coming in the patch.
That's a great question because I completely blanked just as you asked that. Literally,
Yeah,
I knew the question you were about to ask. I'm like,
if
yes.
If there's like hot dog bags and like hot and cold bags, so I can go sell my hot dogs.
The Orison raid is back. The Orison platform. So Orison now has more than just the platforms around Orison.
Oh, that's cool.
Sky bunkers. Some people.
So like
Sky
just some throughout
bunkers.
the planet. Like
Yep.
Sky bunkers?
Sky bunkers.
I like that name. That's a good word to say. Like just say it, Sky bunkers. Like that just feels so good.
Where is the testing chat? Not
Some
testing
syllables
chat.
are wonderful.
Some
That's full of them.
That's
Sky
nuts.
bunkers.
321. There
Sky
we go.
bunkers. It sounds like an 80s like buddy cop space movie.
We got lots of new missions. So we got
Sky
new
bunkers.
illegal and legal retrieve consignment missions. We got steal evidence mission, which uses Twitch Pachenko.
Oh, so she's working again?
Allegedly.
Allegedly? Okay, that's worth it if she's working. If she's at man, it'd be.
I mean,
that
she's
patch
the
would be
best mission giver in the
Honestly,
game.
If
like,
they just did a whole patch where they just said we finally got Twitch's hair working, I'd be like, I'm fine with that because that means from now on the other hair is gonna work, right? Like we're gonna get more.
but just like the only one dress in the game, players can't have that hair for some reason.
Beards win.
There's
Pierce.
no dresses in the game. What are you talking about?
There's
It's just like
one from Omega Pro.
it's not a dress though. It's a fucking jacket.
That's a good point. They should work on that. There should be more clothing options. We were just talking about even
The
like
female model being like
swimwear
really
and stuff
limited.
too. Yeah, there should be different
Look.
things.
I think it would be cool to have swimwear for the models. I think that would be badass. And also, one of the things, I'll give him a boon. Like I'll give him a boon. A couple years ago, I don't know how long it's been. It's been in the last couple of years at least. It may not have been a couple of years ago, but at some point, that used to be on the female model. The underwear was white and the bra was like blue, is that navy blue and with little wisps of orange. And they eventually one patch suddenly both were blue with wisps of orange, and I was like, oh, they finally did the thing that women have been telling them for years to do: make the fucking underwear match. I go in real life with black underwear and a red fucking bra. Okay, I want to have things that match that aren't like my real life.
You're ruining my immersion.
You want to talk about ruining immersion? They still don't have, as far as I know, they still don't have eyebrows that you can change colors to.
Oh man, I'm so glad you mentioned that one. I've said that for years that I want to be able to change the color of the eyebrow compared to the hair.
Yes.
Because my eyebrow color is looks darker than my hair color because it's shorter. My hair, as it gets longer, it gets highlights in it, and it gets lighter. So I'm always like, it looks so weird when I pick a character and their eyebrows are the exact color of their hair.
Buster, sometime we have to sit down and we got to do a fashion, okay? But I'm sorry.
I'll send you here. I'll add you on Discord, and I'll send you some of my cool TikToks I've done on Star Citizen fashion. I'm a male. I'm a men's fashion advisor in Star Citizen because there's not enough available to the female model.
Nice. I have a lot of extra clothes I can probably send your way.
I probably have the largest clothing collection in the entire.
See,
of
that's
all of
that's
the
one of the
people in
things I'm just
game.
absolutely waiting on for hangers and
I
player halves
seriously-
and hangers is being
Yeah,
able
so you
to
have a place to
see
put
my
your
closet
shit.
of clothes.
Yes.
And
I
put
miss
it
hanger
permanently
module.
without it being. Yeah, I miss the hanger module too. I can't wait for that. Is that coming in 321?
No. As far as
No,
we know.
no.
My response, fuck.
But yeah, like
they wiped this patch, right? They wiped this patch they just did. Which, by the way, I started the game with
320.
like
no.
$0.
Wow.
which upset me because I'm like, is it based on like activity? And I just haven't.
When's the last time you logged in?
God, it was a while. It had
Okay,
been a
because
while.
there was a problem with
But-
320 going live. The backend forgot what its job was, and since then they have patched it, so all your stuff should be back.
Okay, so I got basically a wipe, and the only thing is like because whenever you pick a new, like when you start again and you pick a new location, like everything that you kept that you own goes to that place, right? It's not spread out again like it was, and I was like tabbing over for like 6 pages through all my clothes.
Yep. So I actually have been.
Which I discovered there was a tab on that. I was sitting
Yeah.
there literally, no joke, I'm telling my community, I'm like, why can't I see? I know I have more than this. Like, I have more subscriber gear than this. And they're like, Buster, do you not see the tab? Like, the little arrow pointing to the right down below? Oh shit, I have like 6 pages!
Yeah, so I've been taking the every time I've logged in probably the past like 2-3 weeks now, and
Yeah.
sorting out all of my. I started with my utility attachments. I have over 11,000 in every type of utility attachment that
Yeah.
I now know I have because all of my stuff has been centralized.
Yeah.
So thanks, CIG. Now I have
The only
to
thing,
like.
if I was to ever like make a demand of them, which I never do. I
No,
promise.
you never called
Never
Chris
me.
up and said, "Hey, I want this to happen."
Yeah, I've never called Chris on my phone. An extreme, and then got off and told everybody, Chris Robertson, you suck. No, I've never spoken to him a day in my life. No, one of the things that I really wish was available in the inventory system was like, I don't know, like
If you say search bar, it's just gonna be like,
not a search bar. I mean, sure.
I want
yeah,
a search
right.
bar.
Search bar for sure. Like that's a no-brainer, my bud. That's a no-brainer, my guy. But the one that I would really love to have is like, you know how like in D&D or something, or in Baldur's Gate, and even though the inventory management in that is not the best either, I heard that somebody made a mod where it will auto or like organize your stuff. Like it'll put all of your scrolls in one bag. It'll put all of your it'll separate your inventory into different colors of pouches, and depending on the colors, depending on what you're so one's weapons, one is this, one's clothing, whatever. I wish that, and I know that they do that, like you can pick clothing and stuff, but I wish I had an ability to like set packs of things together, like say, okay, I like this outfit, like this ensemble of things. I would like that to be something I just give one click to when I'm in my inventory, and I the whole thing's on, like every.
That's
every
what
bit.
lockers are.
Well, yeah, and I know that there's some games like with the locker system kind of deal, and like you go up to the locker and that's what you do. But I want that like just in general.
Yeah, that's another thing that's locked behind Squadron.
It's not there, and maybe it is there, and I just haven't found it yet.
It's in Squadron. We know it's there.
Oh well, give it to me now, because I remember lockers back in the day. Remember when you like had to the first time? I remember the first time that update came through, where you suddenly weren't born in a spacesuit, and my friends were like, "Come on, Buster, come on!" They're like rushing me out the door, and then of course I die because I didn't know that I had to like push that little locker next to the thing back in the day at Porto, and I was just like, you sons of bitches, like.
You did this on
No,
purpose.
I took years before I died from a ladder. That took me years to die from a ladder. Anyway, sorry. That's old Star Citizen. Ladder death used to be very, very prevalent.
I don't remember dying from a ladder much.
For the hanger
back in-
module. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, yeah.
For hanger module, it was usually the gray cat died. Basically, you would get it stuck underneath the tally wing or other ships like geometry.
Oh yeah.
So like it was like, oh, this was fun. Okay, let me hop out on my poor little gray cat that's trapped yet again underneath something. Let me go check out my ships again.
Yeah,
You look at them.
I'm super excited for hangars to come back, personal hangars to come back. It's fine. We're finally getting around to completing what was already done.
Yeah.
Like way back when dinosaurs ruled the earth, and no one had yet heard of the terrible things that would come from Elon Musk, we could expand our hangars, and they had said, we're going to take the hangar module and expand
Yeah.
that to the game. And we're going to start here. This is what you're going to be playing in 20, 25 years. It's the hangar module, just bigger. And then like, we're going to stop working on the hangar module now. Just like you just said. So it was supposed to be we were going to just build out from the hangar and we just eventually leave the hangar into the world. So we're finally now talking about persistent hangars and player hangars and whatever names they've given them.
Player hangers. I like the way that sounds because it sounds like you're saying player haters.
To
Like,
where
remember the player haters club?
we're getting these spaces that we can just leave stuff around. It'll be kind of a very home away, home inside home, I guess, because it'll be the home we get before we actually get to buy apartments and real estate in the game or build outposts. No, don't go up desk. And the one feature I really want is the ability to expand them. And we were on the website. There used to be a hangar manager where you could tell the game where you want to place which ship. And with small ships, you could actually fit like two or three of them in a row in one hangar.
Yep.
But what almost everyone did was make sure you had as many hangars as possible.
Yep.
Yeah. I have all of them.
So
It's
just
like all
so
the
you could just
different
like
ones.
drive and just look down the hall of ships you have and just like, yes. That is what I want back in the game.
And CIG responded with like, "Oh, you're gonna do that? No, we're not mad. In fact, we're gonna give you yet another hangar with obstacles so you can drive your Grey Cat around them."
I didn't play back in those days, but it's funny to like see like Disco Lando's old videos about the like the things that he used to do to make fun of the hangar module. He technically, I think, was one of the first person to play Star Citizen multiplayer because he found a way to get friends into his hangar.
Yep. And he was the first one to make the PTV track. That's how
Yeah,
he got
he made
hired.
these, like-
Literally how he got hired was building a
Yeah.
PTV track.
Yeah. And then and everybody wonders like why did they put so much focus into these like racetracks in the game for the fucking carts? He's like, it's my time.
Unfortunately, it's not even him developing it. It sucks. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, obviously, but but I'm sure he pushed it.
oh, for
my
sure. And
like there are certain things in the game that you can tell like who among them pushed that and a lot of it's Jared like recently
Coffee
that
vendor.
there was that one new Red J, you probably know about this, that outfit in Apparelli that's like the blue with the chap kind of look. It has a very
Mhm.
Western style look with the chaps. That is 100% a Lando Calrissian ripoff. In an excellent homage. Like it's not
Mhm.
a ripoff in a cheap sense, but a ripoff in like a homage. But it's 100%. That's 100% Lando Calrissian, and we know who likes Lando Calrissian. You
Heck
know?
yeah.
You know? You know? Ooh. My roommate ordered pizza, and she took a picture of it and sent it to me from downstairs. That bitch.
well, if you want to bring some up, you gotta bring some for everyone. So,
I know, right? Yeah.
now I completely forgot where we were on the 320
Sorry,
questions.
we were just having a good time, weren't we?
No, it's great.
I'm the great detractor. I totally take blame for all of it.
That's fine. We're gonna give you all that blame. All right. Ba-dum-bum. Shanghai. We're gonna go and actually use Red J's topic that he so graciously thought of for us because I didn't think of enough. The Shanghai Bar Citizen. I don't know if how many of you or what you guys have seen from the Shanghai Bar Citizen. I know
my
Red
God.
J, you did a cut together of the interview that Chris and Sandy did.
Yeah.
Which,
Ooh.
if you guys don't know, and I say it most every stream now, Red J's videos are great, and you should go watch them if you care about information in Star Citizen. Whenever he
Yeah, I'm gonna
finds
go
something
watch
he
them.
likes, his videos are shockingly detailed.
Thank
So you're welcome. So it was not only one of the biggest Bar Citizens ever, it encroaching on CitizenCon territory. I think there was several thousand people there, wasn't there? Or just over 1,000?
That's the videos we saw. Yeah, and they were saying that there were so many people that some of them were kind of like asked to like basically do a morning crew and a day and an afternoon crew, but I don't know how true that was. It was like that was what I saw when my Google Translate told me what the comments said.
Jeez. And so they did have the retribution there. They did have lots of Q&As, lots of things, but they also had, just space stuff. There was like board games there and people selling like merch that they themselves built. There was plushies that there were community members that were allowed to build plushies.
Well, certainly that was. I think a lot of that too comes from the fact that it was like so community driven for them, because it's not like they had CIG like going, okay, this is like CitizenCon where we make plans for it.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. I think it's awesome. I was in awe of their Bar Citizen stuff. I just thought,
it's
wow,
like how often do you do
how
this?
cool for them. I remember I went to my Bar Citizen literally that same week, and like I was seeing all the pictures from it off of like Xylo's feeds on Instagram and stuff, and I was showing them, and everybody had seen the big the redemption or whatever the thing's called. Retribution, redemption, retribution, it's all the same. We can't do any more powerful
Redeemer,
word names.
Retaliator.
Like I can't have another one called renown, retribution.
Yeah,
Redeemer.
you guys have filled up your R's.
Stop the RE names, right?
Get your Z's, Y's, and W's in there.
But I went to my Bar Citizen, and I was just, we were all like kind of, some of us were talking about, there was like one person, there was a couple people at the end of the table that arrived later, and they were like, what are y'all talking, like what's going on? And we're explaining, they didn't hear anything about it, and they're not people who are like listening to it a lot, like, Star Citizen News. And I was like, look what they've made over in Asia. The Asia Theater has created like the Pacific. No, not the Pacific, but I was like, this is like, look what they made over there in Asia.
It is
like,
quite.
Holy shit, they go hard, and we were like,
yeah, it's so weird that like.
I can't wait to meet more of them as they like hopefully get out to the things over in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to get there.
Kong
like,
crew. Yeah.
I would love to go there, like to those places, just to meet them and see like their communities, because it's so cool. It's because they haven't had servers for so long, and they just like this last year they have, and it's crazy how awesome their shit is.
And just the amount of community support they have over there, like.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the backers
tight.
on this side were like expecting that at all. Like.
Everybody over here fights all the time.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we like
people.
games. Just like, okay.
To be honest, fucking white people.
Yes, that.
God damn it. No.
And it is so cool to see. Like, and it's weird that
it's amazing.
As much as community support there is in all these different regions, you don't feel it. I don't know if like how they translate, or if they translate at all, like in-game communications.
Right.
But you don't feel like you see the other pools of community. You don't see, unless you're watching, French YouTubers. You don't see the French community.
I would assume, yeah. Well, and you see them in the European servers, and even then, it's like a lot of the time I've been in European servers. I mean,
They're all Australian.
Tons, yeah. I haven't seen tons in the European servers. I haven't seen tons of other languages back when I used to go on it a lot. But I certainly saw some German, some French, some but not as often as I thought I would. If that made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine with some of the political climates, like the geopolitics of that part of the world, there's probably reasons we don't encounter them in our servers. That have to do with governments and whatnots, but I hope I get to hang out with them. They seem so cool.
I think they will.
They're so cool.
They already have, and I think they will continue to make Star Citizen and the community surrounding it even better. Like,
yeah,
their enthusiasm
it's just like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's like infinite diversity, infinite combinations, right? And that's like the Vulcan edict. That's like the whole philosophy of Vulcan culture, even though arguably the Vulcans can be pretty fucking toasty racist sometimes against everybody else.
Sometimes? Didn't they basically call Klingons like dirt like all the time?
I mean, they talk about how humans smell, and we can't help it.
Yeah, but there was some like specific like a Vulcan meeting at Klingon, and they were like, no, you're trash, go away.
How many times have the Vulcans been like so catty about everybody? and it's like they act like they're so much better. Anyway,
That's kind of the
point
point
being-
of Star Trek. Is like we are a
the point
higher
being-
being. I hate you. No,
Idic,
it's
right?
like
The Vulcan Idic, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Like the more people that play this game from all over the world, the new perspectives it brings to this community. There are things that will be caught, like even for me, like there's things that we could think about from our perspectives, from our lives, that like in the other part of the world, it relates to them in a totally different way. Like that we would we may ourselves even take for granted, or in ways that we've never fathomed. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
and
So
now that I'm
about
thinking
it.
about it, and I even talked about
I'm
this on
about seeing people go nuts Star Citizen that I don't even know how to say hi to them.
was gonna say some form of Mandarin, but no, it's fine. Like that's not all Asia, man. Not all Asia speaks Mandarin. Actually, like not even all people around people
There's
who speak Mandarin.
Cantonese,
Yeah.
there's
Good point.
Taiwanese, there's everything.
Anyway, since we are on the Shanghai Bar Citizen topic, one of the original Earth cities was Shanghai. In concept.
Oh yeah, well it makes sense.
And I just kind of connected those two dots. Like we have New York, Shanghai, Cologne, which came a little while after, and then what was the Russian city? St. Petersburg, I think it was. Not St.
Yeah.
Petersburg. What was it? What was the
I think they did Moscow, right?
Moscow? It was Moscow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they wouldn't they put a saint something in Star Citizen.
They
But yeah.
try to avoid it at least.
Yeah, they really don't want to bring Earth like now religions into it. They actually
Even
did.
holidays. I mean, even the holidays are evolved from new lore.
Yeah, we
right?
they left the old holidays behind, and it just
Now
so
they're better,
happened
different
that like the
colors for
Banu had something
reasons.
going on in December something something.
Yeah, Banner Christmas
Luminalia.
is way cooler than regular Christmas.
Yeah, Alien Christmas is like there's
Shit.
cocaine and hookers.
I mean, it's
Friends.
Banu. There's always cocaine.
Yeah, it's human. Humans are probably the ones that told everybody else about cocaine or hookers.
They trade with the Banu. What do you think? They have way better drugs than we do.
Okay, speaking of lore, because who is it? Red J, you were saying that you really
Yes.
like lore.
I love lore.
I agree with you, just because that made me think about it. I agree with you. I really hope that there's some good lore panels, and there
Oh,
usually are at CitizenCon. But I just wanted to add that because it made me think about that.
Yeah,
I love
and
lore.
and lore. There, for the record, if anybody's listening, there's always room for more lore content creators. Get more lore. If you do like it, support them. Especially Paul. Go over there. Recognize the folks that do
Paul's-
the amazing work.
Paul's my boy. He's like one of my best friends in the whole world. I love him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, don't forget, there's also roles in machinimas. Ash, for example, Awesome Ash, she did an amazing set of divisions. I think it only got a couple hundred views, but we all played different roles and we tried to embody them. Like,
Yeah.
was one of mine, Constantine Hurston of the Hurston Hurstons.
Nice.
I mean, like, there's actual good dramatic voice acting. There's stories to be told, and you can put your own spin on it. And the lore team is extremely supportive. CIG has been wonderful with lore. I just want to see more of it, and I don't want to see it. I think there's always this worry by CIG that it's like, I think they think of like those panels where they went into the Banu language and people weren't that interested. But if you
Right.
spin it the right way and it's kind of curated, it like captures the moment. Like, for example, Pyro right now,
Mhm.
anything to do with lore for Pyro is going to be amazing, and people will be energized by it.
Right.
And on the topic of voice acting and machinimas, there's an entire Discord called HubNet, which is the nexus of finding talent for either character acting or voice acting.
Great. So,
Good.
no, it's great Discord, incredibly good work they do over there.
I just need to find more time to get into it. I did do one. I was the background voice, I think, of in an intro, but a fighter pilot something line. I completely forgot what it was. But basically, he just said to scream into the mic, and it will be great, because we're going to basically layer so many effects on it, and nobody will understand you. It's just like, that's the role I could do.
Yeah, I always wanted to be that stormtrooper that's like, open the blast doors, and that'd be my only line.
I do my regular my tough accent. I'm from Philly, and I lived Philly all my life. So like when I order a cheesesteak, I have to put some bravado into it. Not always.
I I just
more
had a
gentle.
cheesesteak like 2 days ago. It was okay, but I live in
Fair.
Texas, so.
You ever make it out here? You ever make it to the East Coast? We got to get you some serious Amoroso's rolls. We got to get some good cheesesteaks for y'all.
See,
But,
now I'm really interested, and generally, previous to COVID, they had in the U.S., out of the U.S. CitizenCons. What on
Right.
earth? Thank you, computer, for deciding that Avicii needed to be full blast right now. It
I
scared
do
me.
what I want. I'm a computer.
And they have a new studio that happens to be in North America, but not in the States. So I'm really hoping next year we get a Montreal CitizenCon.
well, I think that would be a very turbulent event.
Well done. It was there and you did it. Nice.
You son of a
I didn't
bitch.
see it go. I didn't see it coming, and I'm so happy it showed up. That's
I didn't
great.
get it.
But yeah, I want to see a Montreal one because that's the closest to me. I currently live on the East Coast.
I hope that they start to do. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Sorry.
Oh,
I hope
pizza
that
arrived.
Thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. But I didn't. I really. That's something I've been really hoping happens in this next couple of like years. Is that somehow Canada gets in the mix
Yeah.
for
So,
for CitizenCons.
and I imagine this next year, hopefully, they'll actually get their Asian studio wherever they're actually looking to build it, and then they can have an Asian CitizenCon as well. I just I will probably not be able to attend because of expenses, but I think like there's so much energy over there. They need one. Not need one, but like, they're doing so well over there. So, where was even the question that we originally asked? Again, we are really good at losing it.
So Shanghai's basically their CitizenCon.
Yes.
So there is a dynamic there that's really interesting. When I did some analysis of it, Chris kept mentioning that there's this local group and talking about the nuances of pay platforms. Like they were doing Alipay versus WeChat, WePay or something, and he noted that there are limitations for local representation. And I did some research on that because other companies have faced this same topic. And so apparently in mainland China, you really need to have like a grassroots company or organization that kind of covers that stuff. So it is interesting. Like I think that CIG is trying to embrace it as much as possible with Chris and Sandy having their Q&A virtually and then the pillars physically being there for the most part. And of course, they're going to he affirmed their commitment next year even more, saying Chris and Sandy will be there in person, they hope, for a big announcement in late 2024, which for
somewhere around October 10th.
Gee.
What could be happening?
Right? And so their commitment to the Asia market, I think, is huge. It's not just in China, like you said. Naz, you were saying, like, it's way bigger than just Mandarin, so to speak. There's a lot of amazing communities to explore, and the backer community I think is going to explode in Asia over the next year or two, especially with Squadron rolling out.
And maybe once they get an Asian studio, we'll have proper trains.
We do need better trams. We need bullet trains.
Bullet trains. So it's very strange because the stupid New Babbage transit system was going to be a hyperloop, and then like that's boring. It's not visually interesting, so let's just take the top off and just have it run like a maglev hyperloop, but just without the lid on it. So we technically have a faster than bullet train. It just doesn't it just decides that it wants to like ping off into the mountain sometimes.
I don't understand how Orison's trams get backed up because they're just like little planes, But today
Well,
in
when they have
preview-
to, help people off the train at one stop, it kind of slows it down the next one, and backups happen and stuff. Basically,
Yeah, but-
pings.
they could just fly over the guy in front of them that's taking too long,
Yeah, but you have passengers that need to get off on this station.
I'll jump out.
If they ever misfire, I want them to so if the trams that are at Orison start not working right, I want there to be a pre-recorded message that goes, the missile knows where it is because it knows where it is not.
What?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No,
No.
it knows where it is because it knows where it isn't.
Oh no.
There's like a long meme that's like minutes long, and I would just love to see like an entire tram of players just going, "What's going on? What's
I just think
fun
there
if we're
should
gonna be
be.
terrified?"
I think I need to make a machinima of a country western song about trains in Star Citizen.
More machines.
What else? What else is more country and western than a song about a train?
Call it train pains.
Train pains down in bed. No.
I mean,
Like
you
an
you have to do that one in
insane-
Hurston because it has the most tactile trains.
You know, Hurston was the first train, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lord
I
Bill,
like
for sure.
Hurston train. I always liked the Hurston train the best. I always liked how it wasn't a super fast train. It just, but it's just funny when you get like it turns a corner now and it just spins out for like a split second, and you're like, whoa, okay, everything's fine, everything's fine.
It's like, did I see that or did I make that up?
And then there's like that burrito train. I want that.
You know, Lordville was like the first planetary landing location, and
Mhm.
I said to many people I really enjoy it, even though it's not the prettiest place and everything, because you have that emotional connection to it. I think that eventually, Lorville again will be this place people turn back to as more NPC outposts are brought online and there's content at them, because Lorville is one of those places you can take that train right to the edge of the city, spawn a vehicle, and then just drive off into the sunset and go have fun. And
Yeah.
players value that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still shocked that they don't have a shipless game package. It's
Right.
Well, I think you can only do a shipless game package down the line when there's more locations, because then choosing a home is going to be a big question, right? And there's going to be a lot more people in the game. Like this is like my like vision of Star Citizen released, right? There are so many people playing this game that like anywhere you go, there's tons of people, which I don't care for like in a main hub, but that's what main hubs are for, right? And there are people who strictly like for they come into the game, they didn't back, they don't have ships the way we do. And if they do, like they're not as long lived. I don't know how's that going to look, but there's the availability, like new players have to start on a world with no ship, in my opinion, and have to earn the resources in order to get ships or to take transit out of there. You know, like it becomes its own world and economy.
Mhm.
Is the point? Because what's the point of me having touring ships if there aren't people in this game that don't have fucking ships? Like, pardon my French. But what's the point? What's the point? Unless like, oh, I'm moving NPCs all the time. That's boring. I'd rather have real people get on my ships and like me take them somewhere and like actually have like maybe a real conversation in this game with somebody real. But I mean, I don't know. I agree that there should be game packages that are not that don't include a ship, because I think that one day when this game releases, if they hold, god damn it, dogs, if they hold to what they initially said was remember they back in the day they said after the game's release they will no longer sell ship packages in the pledge store, like they will no longer sell ships for money. From that point on, people have to. Now, do I believe that that's what they're gonna do? Hell no. They make too much money selling ships, man. Like they'd
And
be
then every
stupid to
time-
stop now.
And then every time they try and not sell ships, like, hey, we're gonna sell armor kits.
Right.
The community's like, how dare you?
Dare you?
The new players know not what you do. Just like,
No.
guys, they can read a dang web page and say, do I want this armor or not? Like,
The ultimate hope is that the systems they create in which to sustain the world that they are building, it becomes like a type of like it becomes unique to them to the point that they could sell it to other companies interested in having games with a similar structure. As far as
I want
don't
a
load
Star
in.
Trek. I want a Star Trek.
Right?
A Star Trek Star
Right?
Citizen, and I
That's
would.
the ideal. That CIG just makes so much money on that aspect of it, and of course game sales and yada yada yada. That's the reason we would hope they would stop selling
Yep.
ships. But do I believe they will? Absolutely not. Now, ideally, I agree. there needs to people. I would like for new players after the game's released, especially those motherfuckers have been saying shit about it for years, to have to start this game without the same benefits that I had, that I get to start this game with as a backer of X amount of years and who has put money into the project. But
Just
I'm not
keep the
entitled
javelin
either,
on the
so
store.
whatever they decide to do is what they decide to do. I'll accept it.
Yeah,
As long as it doesn't.
don't give them any ships up to the javelin. They want the game. You gotta spend $27,000 or $2,700.
I wish then I wouldn't play the game anymore. On principle.
Real
Like
quick.
if you have this cost this much to get in, I am getting out.
Back to the ground vehicle only type topic,
Mhm.
just really quick. It occurred to me, like, newer backers might not know this, but if you go to the planetary landing locations and you
Uh-huh.
go to the spaceports, so Tisa spaceport in Lorville, for example, is just random one I picked because that's what we're just talking about. You know, you got
Right.
Augusta Dunlow, and of course, but all of them have a commercial flight area.
Yep.
And you'll see that they're interstellar flights where sorry, I might be using the wrong word, but the gist is it's like inner system. And
Right.
then there's an intra system where it's like local hopper flights. And you will see a giant picture of a Genesis Starliner outline on the wall. And it'll say, like, commercial gates for this type of flights go left, commercial flights for this type of flight go right, right next to the concierge club I can't access, chairman's club. But bitter, I know. But the biggest thing to remember is that that is going to be in the game, and I think once that's in, where a player or an NPC can jump onto a Genesis Starliner and then fly from Lorville to Microtech on a Genesis Starliner they don't own and they don't have to rely on another player. Like they can, don't get me wrong, like that should always be an option. But there should be this mechanical feature in the game that allows you to transport between different locations, at least safe locations.
Especially if you can bring along a ground vehicle.
Yes.
Like you go up, you buy your ticket and say, "Hey, I want to bring this vehicle with me." That'd be so cool. Like let's just say if we're on Hurston and we're told, "Hey, we need to go over to Microtech to go assault a bunker or pick up a package," and it's not at New Babbage but at one of the research facilities. So you have to board the Genesis Starliner, you have to bring your Urso, what have you, with you, and you have to go from the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport, spawn your vehicle there, and go out from Babbage and go drive to that outpost.
There are some people that are just not into piloting, and they're also not into being a crew member on a ship. They're not into being in an org, and you need to accommodate them, and that would absolutely do the job. And they still can experience so much with just that ground vehicle and FPS type gameplay and exploration gameplay, but it needs to be there. You're right.
Very much so. Mick, how much did you see about the Shanghai bar citizens or any of the was it Shanghai? There was Hong Kong not too long ago.
I see the pictures and things. See, there was a lot of people. I don't really like, unless it's in my area when it's like a meetup like that. I don't really worry too much about it because then I see the IFC, you know, for whatever thing they were hyping up there, something like that. So really, not a whole lot. I saw that there was a lot of people there. I haven't seen the. You said it was the Retribution that was there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Retribution's
I've
been
seen that.
touring all around Asia. I really hope they make it. They find some way to contact the creators. I'm sure they're in close contact with now. And see if they can bring it to CitizenCon.
I got to daydreaming about. You were talking about ground vehicles. One day we took a couple of Ursas out to one of the retrieval outposts, and we just pretended that we lived there. The Ninetales people, they were just occasional bandits we'd have to take out. But when people would come in for their packages, we'd be like, "What are you doing here? get your package. Get out of here.
Get
Yelling
off
at
my
them.
lawn."
It's fun.
Nice. Yeah, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're definitely more interested in the gameplay that we have instead of the gameplay we may have in some odd number of patches.
Really, yeah. Like I was thinking about my role in the conversation and stuff here, and it's like, well, I look at what we have and I look forward to what's coming, but I'm also not somebody who's going and doing as many critical threat beacons as I can to get as much money as I can. When my wife and I play, we watch the lore videos. There's lots of good content providers and stuff, which I'll have to check out Red J now because he's been recommended. But
Highly.
we watch that stuff, and then we think of it as like our D&D character. We take all of what we know about the lore, and we think about where our, like, I'm kind of like a hick salvager guy, and my wife's kind of annoyed with me, but like that's our husband wife salvage character. But we figure out where we fit in the world. Maybe how we would have raised via education system, because it's a little different than what we have today in real life.
In this
Um,
world, I belong in the hearts and minds of all at all times. Rent free, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's what we do. We try to tag others and drag others in and just enjoy what the sandbox is. I don't really focus too much on getting a mission done. If we fail a mission, everybody's like, my rep, and I'm just like, but our RP, we had so much
But a
fun.
heartbeat. Yeah, that like, I think that's something that it is kind of changing in the community. Like the more people that I see and interact with, and the newer they are, it seems they're more focused on the can do, not the will be able to do. Like there's a game here. Like a lot of the newer backers appreciate the game that we have, and they're like, we started with a free fly. We weren't here for the Kickstarter in 2012. We were here because we were able to play something, and we played it, and we liked it, so we enjoy it, so we're doing it. And a lot of, again, us older backers are like, but we're supposed to have base building. And like, I think that's something.
Where's my brand new merchant man?
They shelved it, don't you hear? They sold the concept to Star Atlas. Now they're going to be making it. You have to buy an NFT of the Banu Merchantman. I live on the tears of Banu Merchantman owners.
Side note, Star Atlas people, I stay away from them because it's like some of them are cross, like some of them are huge fans of Star Citizen, and then other ones are like hating on Star Citizen. I get it. But like I am always like, it is a hot potato if you mention Star Atlas. So I'm just like, oh, it's a promising thing. Please don't put the pitchforks down. Okay, all right. Your guys are cool. All right, I'm not calling it anything bad. You stay over there, please. If you want to talk Star Citizen, you're welcome to come over and talk about that.
Yeah, Star Atlas has one very crucial flaw, and that's they're trying to push NFTs. Like, and they're not trying to build a game with NFTs. They're trying to push NFTs, and they're trying to push crypto. There's no way to buy Star Atlas without doing those two things. And that has created, because I've been in the Star Atlas Discord, I have Star Atlas. I have bought a bike in Star Atlas because it's on the same exact track as Star Citizen, and 2 Star Citizens are better than 1 Star Citizen, in my humble opinion. And one's on the Unreal Engine 5, and I really like the Unreal Engine 5, so pretty shiny things. But their community that they have are not gamers. They're stock people. They're people that are trying to push crypto. You get in their Discord, and it's like 3 seconds, and you'll be hounded by somebody like comparing their crypto wallets, and oh, this crypto is down today. I've lost this much. Oh, I've gained 3 cents because of how much I have in crypto. Have you seen my plethora of NFTs? This one looks like a monkey. It's like, that's the community that I saw when I was in their Discord. I'm like, I'm not here for this. And their flaw is not the game they're trying to build. It's the game that they're like, as far as I can find, there are no game developers employed by Star Atlas. I've looked on all the places I could find where they've listed their jobs. None of them have game development anything.
It's like that lady at the plane going, that motherfucker over there isn't real.
He's not real.
He's not real.
That was good.
like all the concept arts who've done anything for Star Citizen have done Star Atlas. Why? Because they're all contract workers. Stagey says, "Hey, person, we need concept for Pretty Boat," and like, here you go. According to a video that I have not seen, so those who have not known or do not know, check it with a grain of salt. Apparently, there was an instance of scalping, or not scalping, that's the wrong term, but hiring artists that were formerly CIG that were working on the Banu Merchantman. and it was around the same time that the Banu Merchantman was shelved. I don't think one is the other, but like artists are artists, and they go between projects. It's that does not a game make. It is all about that is Tony Z's not working for Star Atlas. There's a reason.
Yeah, and also like concept art is concept art too. Like I could have a portfolio, like say I was a concept artist, I could have a portfolio of 1,000,000 ship designs and maybe one of those gets used in Star Citizen. But then like I have one for Star Citizen that I did and it didn't get accepted, but I still posted or I still posted as part of my portfolio because I'm allowed to show people my talents and skills and how maybe this one didn't quite make it, but I think it was a cool concept and I should show it off.
Yeah, and like both Star Atlas and Star Citizen are all over ArtStation, and like really good people working on the art for this on both games. But I look forward to the day where Star Atlas gets out of its own way, and I really hope like there are two sides of Star Atlas. There's a game, and there's NFT and crypto, and one of them is going to give. Either it just becomes a crypto market, like so many other projects right now, and it just becomes the metaverse concept. With like you just buy NFT land and you spend crypto on like normal
I
groceries.
don't understand
like
any of that.
it,
I just don't.
it's rich people crap. It's just rich people.
I
all it
don't want
is.
to.
All my money goes to Chris Roberts. So
Same. It's Chris
Not
Roberts
at
or
all. I don't give that man a dime anymore.
I.
He gives me ships to give away. I do not give him ships.
If I could weigh in on that slightly, heck, I have a YouTube video dedicated to my hangar tour. For goodness sake, you can see how much ridiculous stuff I have. But yeah, it's way too much. But I did it over a decade, right?
Mhm.
And the other thing to remember is I slowly but surely weaned myself off of EVE Online based on my experiences in Star Citizen, and I only backed more and more as I enjoyed myself. So, like, if you were to take what I spend and you divide it by like 10 plus years, and every year that goes by, I spend less. Technically, at least the trajectory now, just like Buster mentioned, and I think most of you mentioned. I will say that like I don't think it's that much money. Although yes, it is stupid amounts of money. If you can avoid like having every single ship, or if you can avoid strategically thinking about these things by yourself, more so thinking strategically about your org. So like, let's say you got like super tight friends and org mates, and you're like always chill with them. It's like, okay, well, we got 6 reclaimers amongst us. Do we really need 6 reclaimers? It's like, no, well, really, we could probably have 2 in this time zone, right? And then that frees me up. Let me CCU my reclaimer over to something else. I was really thinking about the Crucible, or the Hull D maybe. That's going to take off really soon. So like, because I can coordinate that with the reclaimers. Once you have enough goods in the future, we'll be able to pull all that stuff into a Hull D and sell it, move all the goods. So like those type of symbiotic gameplays make you have to spend less money, specifically you, the person, and more like the org is kind of like each one of you is kind of bringing something to the table, which is kind of fun. As long as you got some tight friends to play with. So org up if you haven't already, and just kind of start developing that, feeling it out. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but
No,
Never.
it's absolutely valid, and
I
that's
want to go on Spectrum and tell everybody how mad I am that my capital ship needs a crew.
we're all in this together.
Speaking of orgs, and it's a great segue. I'm going to completely steal it and derail us into my own publicity, whatever. So I actually run an org called Nova Forge Industries. Mick over here is actually our salvage lead, and he runs at least weekly, if not like semi-daily runs for salvage. And basically the entire purpose of Nova Forge Industries is to give players that don't necessarily want like big org like politics to find a friend group that will let them utilize their bigger ships that they want to fly. People want to fly Orions and Polarises and Reclaimers and with javelins and whatnot.
People
But
are totally cool.
but we just want to like give a framework to be able to actually use them. So that's kind of like the mantra of Nova Forge, to basically, yes, we're an org, we're a corporation in the Star Citizen universe, but we're really here. We're actually a co-op. So if we succeed, you succeed, kind of thing. And so we are basically just a framework to be able to use the big ships in a nice way.
Yeah, we've been doing Reclaimer ops lately, and it's been a blast.
Yeah, and you
I never-
and did you have
never-
a whole C or a C2 whatever standing by last time? Wasn't able to make it.
Oh yeah, that's something we do sometimes now with the new cargo changes. You kind of need a bigger ship to pull cargo now, which I like that. That was good. Not just any ship can come grab everything out of cargo. You got to logistically talk to people within your org, or your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, it's super cool. I really look forward to like bigger. I don't like operations needing to be like scheduled and thought through, not just like, hey, I guess we're gonna do like bunkers for the evening, but like, hey, we're going to assault this like major fortress, and we're going to need to run logistics. We're going to need to call in like this amount of people. We're gonna need to bring in these ships and like actually like go through the planning phase. I really look forward to all that kind of stuff.
Heck yes.
So we've talked through CitizenCon, and we've talked about 321 being the new 321 point or 320.1. We talked about the Shanghai Bar Citizen and Citizen. No, I already said CitizenCon. It's fine. We talked about lots of other things
Exciting.
as we
Star Trek. Life
Star Trek tangent.
of
That's the word.
The universe.
Did anyone have? And I'll start off with Mick. Do you have anything else you want to add to it? We're about 10 or so minutes from wrapping up.
Just fly safe out there. Be nice to each other. That's all I got to say. That's what I'm all about. And Knights of the Dice Table, we're not an org. That's why we like to go join other orgs and play with people. We have an oath of just don't be a jerk to people.
It's a good one.
Don't help the bully or help the bullied. Show them that they got shooters out there. That's kind of our thing.
Neat. Buster, do you got anything to add to any of the discussion we've had so far?
I just want to play Dungeons and Dragons for the rest of my life.
So you definitely got the D20 that they put in the game.
Yeah, I actually found out about that the other day, and somebody was like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "Oh, I have it because I'm a subscriber."
They have little figurines in the hangar and in the inventory. So when we get hangars, and
we can put our stuff there. We can
stuff. And we can play like a tabletop game in
I wonder if the people
Star
like.
We gotta do that. We all gotta do that.
I wonder if the fish tank's coming back.
It is. They showed it in
at
least they showed it in the thing, and it's in the inventory. The fish tanks are in the inventory. They said you must be able to hold it to place it, so it's there.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to go to CitizenCon. I'm excited to leave some lipstick marks on a few people's faces. I'm excited to bring my telephone. I'm bringing the telephone with me. So if I get to meet Chris Roberts, I'm going to make him hold it to his ear. I need to get two. Part of me wants to get a second one so that I can have two phones so we can do like buddy photos of us like we've been talking on the phone. But I would need two receivers.
You got like 2 weeks to get to a Goodwill and find another red phone.
I know. I probably have one in the house, to be honest. This house.
You just keep random phones around?
This house supplies Goodwill stores. Well, my roommates had a lot of people pass away over the years, and it's just another bag after another bag of stuff to go through. But it's just that's just the way that's life. They're on to the next part. But yeah, I'm just excited to see people at CitizenCon. I am especially excited to I want to do something really dramatic at the Bar Citizen the night before, so everybody has something to talk about. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to throw a drink in somebody's face, and I haven't picked out who. Yeah.
Is it not Sean Tracy?
Actually, Sean Tracy is somebody I like lately. Like, I have a couple friends at CIG, and one of them I was having to discuss. He's on a team where he's working with Sean more often.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, look, I don't expect you to say anything to him, but Tell him we miss him and we love him and we hope he's okay. At least I
What
love
is Sean
love him.
currently doing?
I don't know. Nobody's seen him in the like in any of the videos for since all that year of Theaters of War stuff.
If
Well,
you
he
find a big enough mirror, get everybody at the CitizenCon, stand in front of the mirror and repeat Theaters of War and spin around 3 times and see if you
Oh my
Like,
god!
we
yeah.
saw him a couple times right after the
Maybe
CitizenCon
we
with
did.
Theaters
I
of
just,
War.
maybe, yeah, but he was talking about Theaters of War.
Yeah,
so.
what was he moved on
That's
to
literally the last
something.
time I saw him in anything that I can remember. It was him talking about Theaters of War, which, you know, that's really coming along.
I mean, it literally is. They're literally working like
I'm not.
now that
Well, okay.
now
you
that
know why? You know why Theaters of War went into motion, right? Like, you know the real reasons Theaters of War went into motion.
to actually capture like actual gamers.
No.
No, because
Well, that yes, like yes, because there's a content creator. God, what's his
Level
name?
cap?
Rexzilla.
Rexel.
Rexzilla, remember Rexzilla back on Star Citizen like a couple years ago? That dude, that's all like he was like he's one of those streamers who gets like let's go, like he's very very animated and does that whole screaming at you thing. And he's a funny guy. I met him at TwitchCon that year, like 2019. He's a lovely human being. But that's his style, and a lot of people like were like, "Whoa, this guy's got like 1,000 people watching him play Star Citizen." That came out of nowhere. None of us in the Star Citizen community knew who he was, and suddenly he's coming out of nowhere with thousands of viewers playing Star Citizen and dropping like he is org, like he got an org together. They started doing dropship stuff all the time. They had all this crazy stuff, and I think he moved over to Facebook at some point. I don't know how much Star Citizen he does or doesn't do right now. But the not very long after, like within a year or two, like or about a year, like they started to talk about Theaters of War, and it started to become a thing. And the theory is that yes, like Theaters of War was created to sort of get people like that interested, people that generally probably play Call of Duty and shit like that, stuff where they were playing like warfare games, interested in Star Citizen because they have a model of Star Citizen. Like there's a whole part of Star Citizen that's just arena, you know, or arcade, you know, like Arena Commander. With that, so that's the theory. That's
So
like the unofficial theory.
Last time
Take
we
it
saw
with a grain of
him-
salt.
Yeah, last time we saw him was July 14th, 2023. Talking about Theaters of War.
What?
Yeah.
2023? What?
Yeah, July 14th, 2023. He's still talking about Theaters of War.
Oh my god, that's literally a
7.
week after I saw my friend that I said, say hi to him. I hope he's doing good.
I wonder what you did. This is your fault. But like
It was definitely
now that the Arena Commander team is got in the big reworks that they needed to do to parody what we had. They have said, I think it was in the monthly report, that they're now going to start adding the stuff they need to support the release of Theaters of War.
Oh, I thought they'd just given up on it.
No, they every couple of months they're like, hey guys, Theaters of War still coming. I just want you to know.
Theaters of War.
It's
Just
kind of like
reminding
Squadron. Like
you,
everyone just
Sean
assumes.
Tracy has been working very hard all by himself in that basement on Theaters of War.
Like
guys.
everyone
It's
just
coming
assumes,
on.
like, oh, they stopped talking about it. It doesn't
Stop
exist
taking-
anymore.
Stop taking his red swing line stapler, Bob.
Like, oh, that ship that like the javelin. They stopped working on it. They only have the part that shows up in Invictus. Like the address doesn't
God
exist.
damn it. But anyway, I'm just like, I can't believe Sean Tracy's been around lately and I didn't know about it. I just don't watch. I don't watch ISC like I used to. I really don't.
It's entirely plausible that we've seen specialized vehicles even in the officially released
Oh
teasers
yeah.
for
100%.
ships
Theaters
and
of
stuff for Squadron that will just like the PU will benefit from the vast majority of the development team that's working on Squadron that can suddenly move that over that content.
There's a barge, and I am dying to know what that stupid flying barge is.
I want CIG, if you ever watch this stuff and you ever want ideas, I will pay boatloads of money for an Atlas barge. Serious business for a minute in Orison. I want that barge. I want that barge. I don't care. I want it. I just want it. It's
You
that
know-
Well, if you remember back to the original concepts, those were supposed to be the Jupiter ships.
I want it.
Ah.
I really like.
And the
first
Jupiter is
time
a
I landed
colony
on
I
the
just
ship.
like the
Phoenix,
word
I was-
barge.
So there's this little like tiny barge that flies through. I think the visual teaser of Squadron 42, and it's like every time I see it, I'm like, that's give. So yeah, Red J, anything to add to our conversations here?
I'm gonna try my best to just keep this simple. I thank you very much for having me. I think we're in wrap up mode. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But and once again, Laura, I hope to see more of that this year. Thank you to everybody who supported me and everyone else. More importantly, that's in the lore community. Be sure to give them a shot, even if it's a little toasty at the beginning of a video and it's a little, the effects or the voice acting's a little iffy. Give them a shot and give them feedback. That's the biggest advice I have because there's a lot of young fledgling lore community members that are just starting up now. There's a couple, and that I would like to see them kind of get a nod. And
Little baby citizens.
yes,
We gotta take care of the baby citizens. Donate your money today.
yes, and the big and just last thing on a bigger front. Thank you all for being awesome in the community. We newer backers, older backers. This is one of the most welcoming communities I've ever seen, and I'm proud to be my small part of it. I'm very proud of that.
And I keep them out of trouble by giving a slap from their mama once in a while.
Well, thank you so much, all of our esteemed guests. I don't think there's a single person here that I am not extremely privileged to have on the show.
Aw.
So thank
Yeah.
you all for showing up. Our support, or our what is it called? Our series continues next week. We have more esteemed guests coming in. So be sure to come back for next week's. And as always, these will be forever on YouTube. And also, I'll be converting these into audio podcasts that will be on Spotify. And whenever the websites decide to actually stop screwing me over, they'll be on other platforms as well. Thank you, everyone. And as always, be kind, everyone. Bye.
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 Around the verse.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Around the verse.
Oh
God, that was the funniest thing they used
boy. That's the wrong one. I told myself I wasn't going to screw it up. I screwed up anyway. That's the starting soon screen.
I had a giant espresso with an espresso shot in it because I was kind of tired from last night. Because I think between editing and the actual hunting down that station, we spent. I didn't get a lot of